Hello guys, today I'm going to discuss about basic Python operations and I'm going to illustrate one program for example, and by the end of the video you'll be pretty much familiar with one of the most basics of Python. So let's get started. Here I have developed a program for generating a random number and asking the user to enter and keep entering until and unless the required number is found. So import is one keyword over here. It helps us to get one file from the Python library and include it over here. So whenever you want to perform any math operations, then you can perform math and random. If you want to generate random numbers, then you can import the random file. Next, as I told, I'm taking the input from the user and this is between 0 and 10. This is a comment with hashtag. Comment are those lines which are there for the user's reference, means they'll not get executed in the code, but the user can take it and reference it. So here I'm going to share one more variable, random rand int dot 010. So here from the random file, I'm taking one variable from that function actually, and this int is the data type, and it is going to take from 0 to 10. This is I put it between brackets. Initializing I is equal to 0. Unlike C or Java, you don't have to put any int before the variable. By default, it will be int in Python. I'm learning one loop over here. This is the while loop. I have written the condition I is less than 5. I'm initializing one more variable, num1. It's going to take integer as input, as you can see. And this is the way for asking and storing input in Python. Usually in C you use scanf, but in Python it's much more simpler. So you can directly initialize and prompt the user in Python. However, in C you have to first initialize and then separately you have to ask the user. It cannot be done in one line. So that's one good advantage of Python. So I'm telling enter here. Then I'm laying one condition. If num2 is equal to num1, that means the number which the computer is generating, if it is equal to the number entered by the user, then you can print you have 1. Print is one default keyword which helps you to print whatever the value into the standard output, that is the computer. An input is like you can give any input to the computer using the keyboard. Break. This break will help us to get out of this loop. If you have got the right answer in the first code, then it will break out of the loop. This is very important. Break. Else. So usually first condition follows with if, then else. You cannot use else without an if, always remember. It is if and else are one of the most simplest conditional statements in Python and even in C if I learned it. Next, I am again using an if. Then I'm telling if the random number generated by the computer is more than num1 that is entered by the user, you can print this, the number is greater than the entered number. And the user is prompted again to ask to enter the value. You always have to remember that inside else we can have multiple kind of if also. So I'm asking one more if over here, num2 less than num1. Do remember we have to use colon over here. In C, it is not like that. You can use curly braces. And also this colon will generate an indentation. Means if I click enter over here, automatically, as you can see, it will come over here. Indentation, unless and until it's a loop or it is a condition statement, Python doesn't allow access indentation. For example, I'll show you 1 minute. So if asking over here if num2 is less than num1 means the random number generated by the compiler. If it is less than the entered number by the user, you can print this. The number is lesser than the entered value. Then after 4 rounds, sorry, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So after 5 rounds, if the player still doesn't get it, then you can print this. So in this, actually num1 over here, you're taking the variable over here, variable from here. What was the answer the computer has generated? So taking in and printing it out. This comma is important. This actually produce the space over here, so don't need to give extra space. I was going to tell if you put a space over here, then you get an error. Let's see that. As you can see, unindented does not match other indentation. So Python doesn't allow indentation as a means for decorating the program. So I hope you're clear with the basics. This is one of the most basics of Python, the print, how to get the input from the user, import, and some condition statements. You need to see over here equal to is an assignment operator. Means it's checking if num2 is equal to num1. If you want to assign anything, you use only one equal to. However, if you want to check if those two are equal, then you have to use double equal to. I hope you're clear with this. Any doubts, please ask me in the comment section. So here, as you can see, put full screen. Enter number between 0 to 10. We'll enter 2. Yeah, 1. See, have this statement is getting executed. If num2 is equal to num1, print you have 1. So I've actually matched the condition in the first go, but let's see next time how it goes. So here what I'm getting, sorry, the number is greater than the entered value. So I'm getting this means the number generated by the computer is greater than my value. That's why I'm getting an indication of this. So let's put 5. The number is still greater than the entered. This is again coming. Oh, let's put the number is still greater. It's telling number is greater than entered value. I think so. Oh, yeah. So it has taken 10. Or the reason is I told bug because I thought it is only going to consider 0 to 9, but it has considered 0 to 10. For example, if you use in range operator for, it'll only consider, for example, I specified 0 to 10, it'll consider only 0 to 9. But this is not the case in while. There is one advantage over here. So I have one, as you can see. If still I wouldn't have been able to guess, the computer would have given the answer itself. Well, let's lose. Beyond the computer is prompting us everything. Editor for base 10. So I'm getting an error here. previously I had not discovered this error, that's why. In Python, always need to keep programming so you can get updated with the what is wrong, what is correct. It's telling main.python line 13 in model value error invalid literal for int with base 10. I don't know what wrong. Yeah, one thing actually I forgot the reason why it was going too many, like I initialized it I is less than the main, I is less than 5. However, I forgot to increment it. Let's see how it is if we increment it. Okay, syntax. The reason I think so why it was coming, I was writing a plus plus. So okay. The reason I was writing plus plus were because there's actually confusion when you shift from one programming language to another. Previously, I had learned C. So in C, if you can write plus plus anything. So it will automatically get incremented. Or in Python, you have to use something like this. Or you can use I is equal to I plus 1 as well. Both will work. It's a shorthand notation, like it saved time. Let's check out code now. So as you can see, the computer, however, I faced a little bit of problem in the code. I had not experienced this previously. Maybe something went wrong in the copy paste. But my main idea over here was to get to clear the basics and the basic operators and syntax, especially of Python. So the program actually doesn't matter over here. The only thing is we need to learn, keep practicing so you can get more mastery. So one few more important tips which I want to give out Python is Python is very much similar to C. You might say Java as well, but as I have not learned Java, I cannot tell for sure whether it's similar or not. However, yeah, so it's very similar to C. Some of the syntaxes, although not so much similar, but they are similar. Like after if, you have to write in the next line whatever you want to print if it is true or false. And this assignment operators, addition, subtraction, multiplication, maths operators are almost the same. Assignment also operators also same. Basics are almost the same as except a few fancy things are there. For example, in C, you would like do like this. You cannot means you'll put the condition inside one bracket. In Python, it's not like. So if you have not learned any programming language before, it might be a little difficult for you to start. However, Python is one of the best learning startup languages. If you are programming, then it is very good. The reason is very good because Python doesn't stresses on useless syntaxes. For example, I told you about this com uh, brackets. In C, in which I have learned, you have to specify curly brackets every time, starting, ending, everything. As well, if you have any past experience, see the implementation always starts from the main function. So you always have to write something like this, int main and fancy curly braces, and from there you can start. Where it is not, you can just start it from anywhere and it'll do the job. Yeah, extra things are not required, and that's the very good. Various other kinds of keywords are lambda, means this is a function caller in which you put any function and you don't have to type any return, means sometimes in call functions you have to type return, then in there only then the value will get returned to the main calling function. In lambda it will get automatically returned without you specifying the return keyword. So something like continue you can take. So continue actually, as I told you, a break, continue is the exact opposite of that. Means if I put continue here, even if the numbers, two numbers are equal, it'll skip it and again it'll go for the execution. Means it'll say again enter one number and all those things. So I hope you will like this video. I apologize because some of the code was bad over here, but my main motive was to get you familiar with basic Python programs, means Python syntax and keywords. The main thing you have to be practice also, refer to other videos of YouTubers and don't just watch. It is not science or social science in which you keep learning without practicing. Python is somewhat like maths. You practice and then only you do it. The more you practice, the more better you become. So I hope you like this video and please share, comment and subscribe. Any doubts, please ask me. I am also a student and that is why I can understand the pain and whatever problems the other students are also facing. So I'll be able to help better. I am just starting computer engineering and that's why I want to make everyone aware about computer engineering fields. I've just started, however, as more and more I go, I'll be able to do better and I'll keep sharing this my knowledge with others. Thank you. I hope you like this video and you find it useful.